So when I was thinking about what am I going to present on, I kept going back to our first class in June. And that was a very big time for me. I was in a state of anxiety, more so than usual, and there was a lot of uncertainty. I had just applied and interviewed for this assistant superintendent position and had been offered the job and had gone ahead and I'd accepted it after much thought and communication with my husband and my superintendent at the time, and just had a lot of conversation about it. So when I took the job, we come in on that Saturday, and I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, I don't know if this is the right decision, and we had the guest speakers. Then Dr. Flores was up there speaking, and he said, the best time to take a job is when you're not really looking for a job. There are going to be a lot of things you don't know, but you just go ahead and you jump in. So I was like, okay, that's confirmation. People are going to think I'm not qualified, and that's okay, because I know what my skill set is. So I started to approach this project based on that experience. I've always viewed myself as a servant leader. I love to help people. I love to guide people. I think, oh, I can help you fix that, and let's walk this walk together. And so I looked up servant leadership. Thomas Giovanni was a professor at Trinity, and I had opportunities to hear him speak because Trinity University was in a collaboration partnership with Robert E. Lee High School. And one of his quotes was, leadership is not about finding solutions, but helping others understand the problems and how to live with them in an imperfect world. And that's what we do. We're always offering solutions, how we're going to impact best practices. You know, some of the servant leadership motivators that, you know, that are important to me, that I feel that I bring to the table and that I look for when I work with people are, you know, do they communicate effectively? Do they listen? You know, are they accepting of other opinions? Are they a person of character? What is their vision? And do they put people first? In an administrative role, I do believe with what we heard today, yes, we're there to serve the students, but in our administrative roles, we're there to serve our campus leaders and all of our leaders in the community. So my top 3 motivators. My forte when I was band directing for 22 years has always been building relationships. Probably wasn't the best band director, but I think the reason the programs were so successful was because we built relationships with the students, the parents, the community. I'm an effective communicator. I would give you everything hard copy, on email, on the website. And when I became an administrator, I maintained relationships, and I also communicated with my teachers. They were going to hear it from me, and everybody was going to hear the same message. Yes, it would be in an email first, but then you were going to get that face-to-face. And I still believe, when I moved to central office, I still believe those are my 2 biggest strengths. From there, when you build the relationships and you communicate effectively, I think people are going to develop that trust. They may not necessarily like you, and that's okay. People don't like me. I always tell them I'm a Brussels sprout. You either like it or you don't. You can put cheese on it, and at the end of the day, it's still not going to taste any better. So you either like me or you don't, but we're going to have this. I'm going to build a relationship with you. I'm going to communicate with you, and I'm going to trust you. But like Dr. Preston said, trust but verify. And that's always going to be a big component of what I do. So what kind of a leader am I? Survey says, like, remember Richard Dawson on Family Feud? Probably not. Anyway, like Kelly's, I went ahead and went to the questionnaires. When I was a band director, I was authoritarian leadership. You're going to do it my way. I'm going to tell you where to get on that field, and don't ask questions, just do it. As I became an administrator, I've evolved to democratic leadership. We're going to collaborate. I'm going to ask for input. We're going to communicate together, you know, and then I'm going to give you feedback. Yeah, there are going to be times where you have to make that executive decision, but here's the important part that I've learned. When that happens, I'm going to focus on telling you the why, because the why is just as important as the what. I was actually excited when I saw that I landed up in the team leader. I was like, yes, because it's been hard for me. A lot of us who grow up and we're very strong-willed people, usually we think we're right. And most of the time we are, but it's nice to get feedback and collaborate. So I was very excited where it said team leader. Checklist and skills. I'm a checklist person. I wake up every morning, my day is planned out. I check off the boxes. When I go to campuses, I know what I want to see, what I need to accomplish, who I would like to speak to. I believe that checklists help me remain proactive and communicate with my team. But on the conceptualization, very much skill emphasis. Not does that person already have those skills, but does can that person attain the skills to do the job effectively? Because I really believe we can grow people. Behavior, do they walk the walk and do they walk the talk? You can tell me something, but if you're not doing it, then there's going to be some doubt. Again, relationship was number 16, so there may have been a disconnect, but I still believe that those are my 3 greatest attributes. Support. Everybody says central office sits in the ivory tower. When I moved to central office, I wasn't going to be like those administrators. I'm very much a hands-on person. Our role is to support our administrators, our teachers, because if you support them, you're going to gain that student success. And I'm not talking about test scores. I'm talking about what can I do to help you. If we're expecting you to do a certain amount of walkthroughs and to improve assessment, then you may not have the time. So pick up the phone if I'm not on your campus and say, I need you to come help. Let me sit in your principal chair and do your lunch duty, and you go knock out your walkthroughs, because that's what we are there for. We are your resource. That's my belief, and I stuck by that in a level 3 grievance last year, and fortunately the board sided with us, but I was going to die on that sword. I wasn't going to overturn a principal's decision because they believed they were doing the right thing, and we had to support them. Finally, leadership. Even though we're holding each other up and we're providing the resource, I know at the end of the day, if the leader has to call out what needs to be done and we have to act as a manager because we've gone through all of these sets with our team, we're going to achieve the same result. And the end result is really to build capacity within one another and to develop our teachers and our administrators and our students, because no one can be successful if we don't have anybody.